American lawmakers are looking to provoke China by visiting Taiwan. Let's get into the article. U.S. lawmakers prepare plan to infuriate China. This is from Nikkei media organization / news corporation. Politicians are considering a new congressional visit to Taiwan, according to a report. And people have to remember or understand that if you're visiting Taiwan, this is a provocation according to China. The Chinese consider it a provocation because under the one China policy / principle, Taiwan belongs to them. And so you can't just visit You can't visit Taiwan. Just like when Nancy Pelosi went and visited Taiwan in August, this past August, China was infuriated. So you can't just do that. You're provoking a situation. And so with this article, it's telling us that U.S. lawmakers are preparing or planning to intentionally provoke China. Let's get into the article. The U.S. House of Representatives Select Committee on China is discussing whether it should send a congressional delegation to Taiwan, despite realizing that such a move would likely rile up Beijing. Nikkei reported on Sunday, citing an American lawmaker. Congressman Rob Whitman, a Republican from Virginia, who sits on the Select Committee on the Strategic Competition between the U.S. and the Chinese Communist Party, told the Japanese outlet being Nikkei, that some of the panel's members are exploring the possibility of visiting the self-governed island, Taiwan, in a show of support. Again, doing so, if any American visits Taiwan, that's a controversial act. That's an act of provocation. And people who are listening to this need to understand that, because Americans don't know, Americans and Westerners in general are not sophisticated or cultured enough to know this kind of thing. Whitman conceded that such a trip would infuriate the Chinese. Beijing considers the island an inalienable part of its territory. Quote, but I think it's incredibly important for us to do that because we have to send the signal that we're strongly on the side of Taiwan, he explained. The Committee on China, which was established just a month ago after the Republicans took over the House. So there's a variety of committees, and all of these committees do sound confusing, and they do overlap. One such committee, this is the Select Committee on the Strategic Competition between the U.S. and the Chinese Communist Party. That one was established by the Republicans a month ago after the Republicans took over the House, following the midterm elections, seeks to respond to what the U.S. regards as mounting challenges from Beijing in various fields including national security, trade, and the economy. Talking to Nikkei, Whitman noted that the delegation could hold a field hearing in Taiwan should the trip take place. In January, U.S. media reported that the U.S. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy may visit the island as early as this spring again. Doing so is a controversial act and an act of provocation. China's foreign ministry, and this is the House Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. They're saying U.S. media reported that he might visit Taiwan as early as this spring. China's foreign ministry warned Washington against such steps while urging certain individuals in the U.S. to earnestly abide by the one China principle. McCarthy responded by saying, I don't think China can tell me where I can go at any time, at any place. McCarthy is a goofball. Yes, they can if it's on their land or it's in their region. This is part of U.S. imperialism. This is part of American quote-unquote exceptionalism, that they can go wherever they want, that there are no borders for them, but there are borders for everybody else. Tensions between the U.S. and China have been on the rise since August, when McCarthy's predecessor, Speaker Nancy Pelosi, visited Taiwan despite objections from Beijing. The move put a significant strain on Sino-U.S. ties, with Beijing slamming the visit as extremely dangerous, quote unquote, and describing it as a threat to regional stability. And they're right. China is right. It is a threat to regional stability because now you're crossing Chinese boundaries. And Americans don't have a problem with that. They don't have a problem with crossing the boundaries of other nations. It's only when other nations cross into their boundaries that they see that they have a fit, jump up and down like fucking children, and hold these pro-war, pro-provocation like sentiments. Since then, several U.S. congressional delegations have visited the land, prompting outcry from China. Beijing considers Taiwan to be a sovereign Chinese territory under its One China policy. The island has been ruled by nationalists since 1949, when they fled the mainland with U.S. help after losing the Chinese civil war to the communists. They're talking about Taiwan there. So what do I think about this story? I think this is more U.S. provocation against China due to China rising financially and economically. This is more American imperialism and hegemony. They're trying to go wherever they want. They have so many military bases surrounding China, just like they have so many military bases surrounding Russia and Iran. And this is more U.S. provocation. The U.S. is at fault here, not China. But what do you guys think? Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this story here. Leave a like. That definitely helps the algorithm. And if you're listening to this on a podcast, tweet me. Let me know what you think about this story there. Take care.